Hi, and welcome back to FanCorner, your favorite nerdy, unhinged podcast. Today, joining you is Rachel, the face of FanCorner.
Woo!
I'm the resident Swiftie, and this is Brian, our metalhead. Yeah!
What's up?
What would a metalhead do? Like, when you're at a concert, like, do they cheer like that, or is it, like, more masculine?
Well, I don't know. It's because I'm a bit of a poser metalhead, actually. I haven't been to a whole bunch of metal concerts. So I've only probably been to about a half dozen, and a lot of them weren't even very super intense. So I'm kind of a poser, but it's a lot more headbanging than cheering, I think, is probably a... but it's not like we don't headbang to each other to, like, greet each other, you know? I don't know.
Can you imagine just... Anyway, so today we're going to be reacting to episode 2 of the docuseries. To see episodes 1's reactions, go back. We just watched it, like, just a second ago. I did do my makeup, so it took 10 minutes. Which, first of all, like... Take a moment.
Look how good she looks.
I tried to do her Eras Tour makeup look with what I had. So it's not perfect.
We did chase around, well, I guess that wasn't for Eras Tour. We were trying to mimic her look from the new Heights interview, and we had like 10 different stores trying to find the right color of lipstick.
There were so many articles online that were like, this is the orange lip color, and then I bought it, and I was like, this looks nothing like it.
No, it's not.
It was very frustrating. Eventually, I found something I think worked really well. I'll link it down below, actually. It was a Pixi, like, multi-stick blush thing. It was the closest I've come. But before we react, we must talk about, it's Taylor Swift's birthday today.
Happy birthday, mother.
December 13th, her lucky number. I wonder why it's her lucky number. But I actually, I have to admit, I literally cried earlier today thinking about her. Because
we've cried a lot today.
We've cried a lot.
Yeah.
How many times did I cry watching the show? Yes.
Yeah.
But this was before we even watched the show. We were running packages for my small business, and I just suddenly got teared up about it because I was listening to All Too Well 10-minute version, and I was, like, thinking about lines from Red's album about, like, how she, you know, it's supposed to be fun turning 21, like, her sitting there, her birthday candles, and, like, he said he was gonna come and he never comes, and, like, versus now she's with Travis Kelce. Last year he threw her that amazing Eras Tour themed
It's what a birthday's supposed to look like. I wonder what they're up to today. I haven't seen anything on social.
Sometimes I think they're a little demure, you know?
Which I get that.
I don't think we knew until after her birthday last year.
Sure.
You know what I mean? The pictures came out after, but whatever they're doing, like, she has a fiance who loves her loudly. Like, he has thrown those big parties for her, and, like, just that, like, coming from, like, someone, like, blowing your birthday off.
Yeah, no, that 100%. Dichotomy is stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Anyway. Episode 2. Okay. This was, like, I mean, I think this was on, like, a whole nother level than episode 1.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not what we got. Like, I really was, like, I mean, I don't know how often I expect to be, like, moved by a docuseries, but it was, like, surprisingly emotional. Like, a lot of elements that came up. It was cool.
Obviously, first episode, we did have discussions about the terrorist attacks and the little girl stuff and attacks, and it was horrific. But I also think we knew a lot of those news stories. And so there's obviously a grief to that. But, like, this is stuff that I wouldn't have anticipated.
Yeah. Like the human stories of people involved besides Taylor. Because as we kind of said this last episode that Taylor seems so superhuman. I mean, when we were talking about it, trying to guess how many people would have been involved in the tour, and I was like, I don't know, maybe 200 people?
And I was like,
but then,
no way.
Yeah, you said 500, and then the internet is guessing 1,000.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 people's stories that are, like,
tied to this huge event.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot to go through. We're going to go chronologically as much as we can. The first thing that really made me go, I need to write this down. Taylor said...
I think you did that before I hit play on the episode.
Whatever. But Taylor, as they're rehearsing for Torture Poets Department set, which I love how it's like literally, she's like, this is during our time off. And I was like, that's not then time off.
Yeah, no,
like,
it was
someone needs to tell her what time off
I'm
means.
glad that we had this time off so I could work. That's basically what she said.
Which I respect the hell out of it, to be clear.
That's very you-coded.
It is, yeah. There's a reason she's my favorite person. But also... Just like my therapist had to work with me on it. We've not gotten crazy far, but...
We're getting there.
We're getting there. But I just thought that was so funny, time off. Anyway, But she said, I'm going to have a mental breakdown during the song. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
I actually think that's like, that quote perfectly encapsulates what it is like to be a Swiftie. So much of this music, we were talking about this last episode, is so depressing. Like, this music is like... the hardest emotions that a human being goes through on like the whole spectrum of like anger, sadness, pure joy, certainly.
But I thought she only sang about her exes.
Oh my god.
It's a joke.
I know it's a joke, but it makes me so mad.
YouTube knows that it's a joke.
Okay. I can't even like it's so categorically not true that when I hear that, like my eye just starts twitching. I actually had a girl, like a grown woman, say that to me just a few years ago. She's like, "Well, I don't really like Taylor Swift because she just capitalized on her exes." And I was like, "What?" Like, you expect, like, random men to think that, but for a woman to say that without fact-checking it at all was pretty crazy to me.
Some sad internalized misogyny there,
Absolutely. But I think that that's what it's like, right? I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. It's gonna be great. I think of that moment of songs like All Too Well 10-minute version in the concert where it's like, Taylor said in an interview that she was like, everyone was just like singing this song, and she was like, do y'all need to go to the hospital?
Then it's like, bitch, you wrote the song!
Yeah,
like...
first of all, yeah. Do you need to go to the hospital? Taylor, but also, like, I think there is something so cathartic about that moment of, like, it's gonna be great. There is this freeing feeling from actually letting yourself fully feel your emotions to, like, their extremities.
Yeah, you're that way with, like, you'll find a TV show or a book or a movie, and you're like, this is gonna make me cry. This is gonna obliterate me. I can't wait. And, like, I don't gravitate towards media that makes me miserable.
The first time, my little metalhead over here, I think the most shocked I've seen you in the Swiftie journey of, like, dating me was me having you listen to All Too Well 10-minute version.
Yeah, we were driving down to the Eras Tour.
Vegas.
I was going through my Swiftie education. Because I had listened to some Taylor before. Like, I remember Teardrops on My Guitar coming out when I was in junior high or whatever, and people talking about her. But it just really hadn't been my thing, other than the numerous metal covers that are part of what got us here today, that I had heard. And I remember, looking at you and being like, people listen to this for fun?
He was weeping.
And
he left out the most important part. This metalhead over here was just, like, multiple tear tracks down his face, because I had paused and I would explain to him the lyrics.
So
to make sure he heard them.
It took us 30 or 40 minutes to get through the 10-minute version.
Well, because then you have to restart. You can't just start middle of a bridge.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
But he was just literally weeping. And I think that that's the power of Taylor Swift, right? Mandy Moore says that at one point in the docuseries. She says, every song is like a mini movie.
I loved that. Yeah, no, seriously, like the story that's being told there is really cool.
Yeah, I think some pop music especially, and this is not a shade on pop, I love pop music. But I think a lot of pop music can feel sort of, it can be so repetitive and lyrically basic, and, you know, it's just fun, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, that's what music's supposed to be, fun sometimes, right?
But I think that's what makes Taylor Swift on this other level, is even when her music is just fun, it tends to just, it's telling a story in a completely different way than we really see outside of maybe Broadway.
Speaking of stories, do you want to introduce our guest here?
Okay, so this is Wendell.
I'm assuming y'all can see him there. I don't know.
That would be really...
You looked up for us to
he
make sure.
literally was like, this is my moment.
Yeah, you're on camera, bud.
Where's my lighting? Wendell is a very special kitty because I actually lost him 6 years ago. It's a complicated story. There was an ex involved. But a few months ago, like literally just 2 months ago, I tracked him down. And the woman who had taken him in was like, "Oh my God, please come get him!" Like I can't care for him, and like he never really like warmed up to her. And I walked in, and Wendell just immediately remembered me. Oh, I'm gonna cry. And it was, you know, it's been 6 years. I wouldn't think that he would remember me. So he's 10. So I'd had him for 4, and he's just. I mean, he's just happy as can be. She said he would hide all the time, and now he's just out, like...
Now he's on the podcast.
Mid-podcast, he's like, this is my time. So, and we were unpacking Christmas just last night, and I know I'm really late. Normally we do it sooner. But I took out a little stocking that had a W on it, and that was his stocking.
And you just had kept it all these years.
I couldn't have known. Anyway.
Not to detract from the purpose
Taylor
of this
Swift.
episode. On her birthday.
On her birthday. Like, bitch, it's her day.
Sorry, Taylor.
I have to point out something that I thought was really funny, that you turned to me and you looked so confused. Taylor was talking to her crew and her dancers, and you were like, when did she have an orange bodysuit? because you'd seen the Eras Tour with me, and you were confused. You were like, what? And I was like, it's because it changed. Like, that means you, though, had remembered that it was that blue and pink to begin with for the Lover opener.
It's a very fun outfit. Like,
Yeah.
I really wish I could pull something like that off, because it just looks like it'd be a blast to wear.
I want to make one so bad. I've seen a few women make them for the Eras Tour, and the amount of bedazzling that would go into it is just, I mean, one girl said, like, she had to be kind of done up into it, and then, like, getting it off is really hard. But anyway, I just think that was really funny how, like, I can be so clued in that I remember those outfit changes, and for you, you were like, what's going on? Like,
I'm glad you give me credit for that, because I do think that's me being quite observational, ultimately, compared to, most Swifties, not very much, but for me, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think for,
Shows
like,
me
an
care.
average person, yeah. I also thought it was really funny when they're practicing for Tortured Poets, and they have their headsets on because they're keeping it very under wraps. The album's not out yet.
They couldn't play it on the speakers yet, yeah.
Which I had to ask. I feel so stupid. I was like, why? Like, I didn't get it at first.
Yeah, then it's because the stadium had an open top.
Well, not in the rehearsal space too, though. But you brought up, like, if someone were to be walking by the space or anything, like, they might have heard this music.
Yeah, no, this is like, DEFCON 5 level. Like, we don't have leaks with Taylor.
No. Which is actually, I mean, you think about the trust and the camaraderie she has with her staff that they were able to, especially where it was such a production, there was new staging, there's new costumes, there's new choreography, everything. And for it to have remained a secret that she was going to do Tortured Poets, that's insane.
I think one of the funniest parts of that conversation, too, is that she was worried that the fans wouldn't like it. And it was heartbreaking. She's like, we want the old show back. Like, no, nobody said that.
She's like, I don't want to see that. I do think I remember some people expressing, like, disappointment because certain songs that got cut to put
Oh, of course, we all have our
Poets.
favorites, yeah.
And that, like, that would be hard if, like, you hadn't seen it yet. But I think
Tolerate it getting cut? Oh my gosh.
painful. Archer.
Did they Archer was cut?
Archer was
no,
cut.
you love Archer.
I know, it's so good. But that being said, like, I think that's the problem in a beautiful way with Taylor Swift is the whole discography is so good. Like,
I
anyone
wonder how many
cuts
hours
them
that
painful.
concert would be.
A lot. We'll have to do the math on that one time. But I loved how, like, you looked at me and you were like, it's like a whisper rehearsal.
Yeah, they're like those little silent discos. Everybody's dancing to their own music, not a dress rehearsal, yeah, a whisper rehearsal.
Her band being like, oh yeah, I like, we're trying to be silent. Like
They're playing on their instruments. Like,
it was so funny, like in secret, incognito. It was amazing.
Be so hard. I'm sure it was a very long 2 months.
I have to talk about Mandy Moore. Speaking of choreography.
Yeah, somebody who I'd never heard of her. I had no clue who she was before this.
I knew who she was because of the Eras Tour. Before that, I did not. Obviously, I thought she was like Mandy Moore, the Tangled actor.
Right.
I quickly realized she wasn't because I've seen enough behind the scenes stuff. But
and you're like in the dance world. Like I don't dance.
I mean, okay, I danced for a long time, but I'm
that's...
not in the world. I was never a professional. I want to be very clear. I was not a professional. People are going to think I'm more serious than I am.
She's pretty serious.
But Mandy Moore is obviously a big deal, right? Like, she's going through her credentials, like being on La La Land, different things, working with Emma Stone, whatever. And she was talking about how scary it was the first time she showed a piece of choreography to Taylor. And I think it just really hit me that, and we saw this multiple times, that everyone, I mean, we're talking everyone's at the top of their level, including Taylor herself. And she's like, oh, because everyone else is so professional, it's pushing me and whatever. Like, these are the best of the best of the best. Like, I mean, 1% doesn't cover it, right? And yet they still have, like, those fears and those insecurities.
Yeah, I know we haven't gotten into the Florence stuff yet. Florence, it's Florence of, what's her, Florence Welsh?
Florence, oh yeah.
Yeah, she
From
shows up,
Florence and the
Machine, and she is nervous about the stage effects and about, being on stage with Taylor, and it was really, really fun to be like, isn't this one of the most famous, like, vocalists of all time? And she's, like, nervous about being on stage with Taylor.
Because it's still new, and it's her pushing herself.
Oh, yeah. No, she said all I do is run around on the stage, and they had all the crazy, like, whatever the
She'd
words
never
are.
done a lift gate before.
Yeah.
And that would feel fairly...
Well, and you have to be singing while it's moving.
Oh, well, the one she did. Yeah, the one when it's going in the air.
Oh,
but
when she first
even when
showed
she's
up,
showing up from the bottom, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, you do have to... They kind of, like, crouch to get on it.
Yeah, but it looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Especially in, like, her long dress. I also, like, I have to talk about like when Taylor noticed Amanda, the girl who like is Taylor's stand-in and like shows the choreography on her body to Taylor of what Taylor should be doing. When she noticed consistently how talented Amanda was and went to Mandy Moore like, hey, would she dance with us?
Yeah. Even though she'd retired.
That made me so emotional.
It was very powerful.
Because I think it's so easy I have been in the performance world enough. I did pursue an acting degree for a while. It's very abnormal for people to actually look at someone with talent and to like try to like include them, where she's like, wow, I'm so inspired by everything you're doing. It's very like, you're giving pop star energy. Like, and obviously
that's Taylor to Amanda.
Yeah. And Amanda's so like, she's danced with Celine Dion and Lady Gaga and like all these amazing people. And so to realize that that Taylor has enough humility to be like, I want her on this stage. Enough to be like, this would add to this experience for the audience. Like, can you imagine someone believing in you like that?
That's really cool.
Like, what a gift.
Yeah, and she had said that she'd had these, different injuries and things that had gone wrong where she thought her dance career was basically over. And she says in the interview that it's not a long career. Like, your body wears out because of how difficult what you have to do every day is. Like, we were researching what dancers get paid, and one of the like metrics is how much you get paid for an 8-hour rehearsal. And I was just like, can you imagine an 8-hour full work day and you're just dancing and you're dancing and dancing? Like, yeah, it's very high level athleticism. Yeah, it is. And I'm so glad that she got that opportunity. And I'm just so touched that Taylor notices that in other people, Yeah, even though she's objectively the biggest deal that there ever has been a deal about. Yeah. I don't think she knows it fully. It has not fully. Which is so cute because it really seems like she doesn't. It's not just like, I'm not that much. Like, whatever. It's like not how like some people will be. Like the fake humility to get attention kind of thing. Yeah, humble brag, whatever, yeah. Well, what's interesting is, considering this is her docuseries, she really made it more about, like, the tour holistically. So the fact that we are getting these stories, like, so much Mandy Moore, so much Amanda. Yeah, the dancers, the guest stars, like, people, like, we got some interviews with, like, some of the truckers today. Yeah. That was really cool. Wait, what? When did we talk to a trucker? Well, at least the guy that, like, runs the trucking company. He was on an interview. He was? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did I black out? It was so good I blacked out. It was like a Zoom. It was like they were talking about how the bonuses the truck drivers had gotten. Oh, the bonuses. Yeah. That makes sense. I was like, I don't remember that at all. I really, when they're rehearsing, we're still in the beginning. When they're rehearsing for Tortured Poets Department, at one point she says to Mandy Moore, I want it to feel like an insane asylum meets wood nymph. Yeah, that was cute. Actually, no, it wasn't rehearsing Tortured Poets. My bad. That would have been from Folklore set. Oh, Evermore set. Yeah, was that right? That was at the very, very beginning when like the where they're holding the spheres. Yes. Yeah, that was how she described that. And I was like, this is why the sister albums hit so hard. Like insane women, right? Women that are deemed insane by society but really aren't. And wood nymphs. Like, I was like, that, I don't know. I just was like, no wonder I'm so obsessed with it. I just loved that so much that was what she was going for. Powerful. Speaking of have been in the dance industry for a long time, or I was, enough part of it that, like, I've been in a lot of musical productions, I've been in a lot of dance, like, performances, and it really is sort of the standard that they want uniformity. Sure. No one dancer, it's the same like if you've ever sung in a chorus, Yeah, it's supposed to be. No one dancer, no one singer is supposed to stick out. Right. And if there's a lead or whatever, like, you cannot be better than that person. Yes. You have to diminish your own light as a performer, and that is a skill, and so I'm not minimizing the skill. Yeah, it takes talent to do that, yeah, it does. It takes talent to be like, okay, I gotta, just add to, not detract. It really does, but I find it so interesting that Taylor, on the other hand, has the complete opposite philosophy, where she was like, she didn't use the word DEI, but because diversity has been so negatively politicized, but she was specifically like, no, like, I want it to look like
like a stage of performance. Like, no, I'm not worried about someone detracting from me. I don't want them all to look the same.
Every one of them's a star.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see my fans to see themselves in these people. And so we need a wide, like, selection of people to do this. And I thought that was so incredibly powerful. And I actually think, looking back to how everyone was live streaming this during the Eras Tour, like, every time, a lot of the dancers actually got, like, very specific sort of fandoms.
Yeah, I remember that.
Around them.
Yeah, I believe you pronounce his name Jan.
Yeah.
He got very famous for his aesthetic.
Everyone was, like, calling him, like, the Reese of Book Talk.
Yeah.
Like, there was so much stuff.
Cam is a huge...
he
got a lot of attention.
My favorite dancer, I don't know her name, but I am literally obsessed with her look. I should figure it out.
She has the beautiful braids.
She's gorgeous braids, and her face is just so expressive. Yeah. And I think she just... There's something about her. It's captivating. I actually find myself looking at her sometimes instead of Taylor.
Sure.
And I love that Taylor's not afraid of that. Like, that's part of the
She'd love to hear you say that, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, B, that, like, just that audition process of, like, not excluding people. I mean, that's a big deal. Yeah. Cam talks about it, but that's a real thing. You get into a room, sometimes you're lined up in a room, before you even get to show any skill set, you're cut. Yeah. Based on looks.
Yeah, no, Cam's story was, I mean, it was the most powerful part of the entire episode today. And we saw a lot of what happened with his experience and being asked to audition and everything. And yeah, it was really powerful to see that experience through what he felt and what his experience was in his life, and how what Taylor was doing was so different from the norm.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is Cam specifically, like, all of them are this way, but Cam being told he didn't have to diminish his light, not even just his body, but his light, because he's such a dynamic performer.
You to be you. Yeah.
Like, just no amount of, like, too muchness. Like, to be told as a performer, nothing you do is too much. I mean, how beautiful is that? Yeah. Like, to just have full ability to, like, experience the human emotion.
Yeah. And he does it well. It's a blast to watch him dance.
I was gagged, though. What do you mean his brother's on the Chiefs?
I know, yeah, what are the odds? Not just, I mean, first of all, so cool that their mother was able to raise two kids that just have both been so monumentally successful.
Yeah, I mean, it's irony so of it being, hard.
And not just getting into the NFL, but being on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't remember the brother's name. I've forgotten his name. But
3 Super Bowls now.
Yeah, so
not even just NFL, like, a very successful NFL team.
I did read that, I think that the average viewership for, like, the last Super Bowl was around 130 million people.
Oh, okay.
Which is a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
I think they said 10 million people went to the Eras Tour across all the concerts. So it's really cool to see his brother have that kind of audience as well. I don't know.
Yeah. And also for me, I think what was wild about it is obviously she's now with Travis Kelce, the tight end of the Chiefs. And that sounds like a fake word. Still, I cannot get over it. I feels wrong saying it. I'm like, I have to be wrong, even though I know I'm not wrong. But so that invisible string of, like, she wasn't with Travis yet. Mm-hmm. She didn't really know of Travis, really. And then for, like, Cam's brother to be on the Chiefs. I don't know. It just feels all interconnected.
Very fortuitous. Yeah.
And you almost wonder, because I remember when they were talking about how when Travis put out on his podcast, like, oh, I'm really bummed I didn't get to give her my bracelet.
Made it everybody else's problem.
And Taylor's like, who is this guy? Like, I didn't even know I was here. Like, what's going on? I know, like, you wonder if one of the many people that was like, no, Travis is a good person. Because she talked about that, how people in her life that knew Travis were like, oh, it's not weird. He's not a creep.
Yeah.
Like, you wonder if that was
Cam
one of the people that vouched
for Travis, yeah.
I don't know.
That's cool.
Invisible strings,
that's
y'all.
Cool.
Invisible strings.
But then for Cam's brother to have been in the position to help him get to his first audition was really cool.
Paying for that plane. He had zero money to his name.
Yeah, he figured he was going to be teaching dance after graduating, and that was all it was going to be.
That got me so hard, because anytime you want to do anything in the arts, people tell you not to do it. Taylor talks about it in the first episode.
There's no way you can make enough money to live on.
No way you can make enough money. You're delusional. And a lot of people say, if you can do anything else, do that something else. Like, this is very common to be told that. And everything I've ever wanted to do or have done is in the arts.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you're doing all right.
I'm doing all right. I make enough money. But it's so emotional to hear that he thought he would just be a teacher because...
Which being a teacher is important. Like,
absolutely.
But there's just obviously a difference between that and being on a 10 million person stage, right?
Or even just being able to perform.
Yeah.
Because what he really loves is the performing. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with, like, the mentoring and the teaching, but, like, to lose that aspect and to think that he was never going to make it. He still loved it enough that he was like, that's fine, I'm still going to do it. But, like, I don't know, that really made me emotional that he just had assumed because of those experiences at auditions of people
literally
being like, what's wrong with your body?
Some of the quotes of what, like, choreographers and stuff would say to him were horrifying.
What are we going to do about your body? Can you imagine?
It's really sad.
And that's the stuff people said to his face.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine how cruel people were not to his face. And he's such a good performer. One of the best in the world. Like, to even get that audition. But yeah, his brother paying for that plane ticket. And he didn't know it was Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just
so the risk of
major U.S. artist was requesting you to audition for a tour. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean? What does it pay? You don't know. And you're just like on a fly, just going for it. I love also, speaking of like just the diversity of the cast of the Eras Tour, but also just like, I think obviously Taylor gets a lot of flack for like not speaking up enough politically, even though she's consistently spoken up.
It's pretty funny when telling people
about voting.
It's considered political.
And who you are voting for, who she's voting for. But she talks a lot about, when she's doing the bonuses, about how much she was aware that because the Eras Tour was so big, that she knew that it would set a precedent for how people in the entertainment industry were treated. And that's why she wanted to do the bonuses. That's why she wanted it to be handwritten. And she did bonuses for everyone, down to cater waiters.
And say that 5 times fast.
And so I just think, like, I think it's really important that she, like, and key about her as a person, how good of a person she is, that she's aware of the impact she can make. Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about a very significant economic, like, phenomenon happening with this entire tour. Sources saying...
Swiftonomics?
Yeah, Swiftonomics, but yeah, certainly her as a whole, but the Swiftonomics of the tour being, $2 billion in ticket sales. I mean, and so I don't know if that figure includes anything else, what merch sales may have been, right? But still, like, even if we just say it's $2 billion, and if half of that is profit, and then she distributes about $200 million in bonuses, like, that's 20% of the profit from her share of what she would have made after the cost of the tour. But wait, when you're saying that your 20% is $200 million, I mean, it's a different planet than, like, those numbers don't even sound real for most people.
I think, for me, anything after a few thousand, like, it all...
I think anything after about $40 starts to just seem like
a lot of money. I'm like, I don't know, a lot. Yeah. Like, a lot. It might as well be 10 grand. Which actually we read a really funny story, like, Brian was looking up things about the bonuses, and apparently one of the truck drivers at first thought it was $1,000 and then was like, wait, it's $10,000, and
I was like, oh wait, no, that's $100,000.
I think there is a psychological phenomenon of just like, it's so much money, like, because there's 2 separate things going on here. There's the fact that she has individually changed these people's lives.
Yeah, because
that's huge.
The very specific quote we have is that there was 50 truck drivers who all were given $100,000 bonus, and I don't know exactly what truck driver means. I don't know if it's just like the equipment or exactly what.
There's a lot of things that travel with the show that need to get to the arenas in terms of like the sets, the whatever. Mm-hmm. All of that stuff is traveled on big semis.
Yeah, that's just that which just sounds like this incredible amount of money, is just a drop in the bucket of the total bonus pool that she paid out.
Yeah. And so she changed all their lives, and she's aware that then that sets a precedent that other artists have to sort of stand up to. Yeah. But I think it's really, I mean, we all know this, right? Like, there's a lot of rhetoric about how she is a billionaire, and she is a billionaire. But what other billionaire, or even semi-rich person, actually pays out the due reward to people? Like she's like, it's successful because of y'all, so I need to give back to you. Mm-hmm. But we all know, like, you can be... I was in a company once, and I know this is just my experience, but we all know this is true. I was in a company once where I was in the only profitable department, in the entire company.
I was thinking you were talking about like dance company.
No, sorry. It was like a corporate job.
Yeah.
And literally no other department in the company was profitable. And I brought in a bunch of new business. Like I closed a bunch of new accounts, got new money for the whatever, and then I found I was getting paid less than everyone else. And I was like, can we do something about this? And they act like you're the most ridiculous person in the world for saying that, even if you make them money.
No, you're supposed to be grateful to have the job.
Exactly. And Taylor not only gave to people where she was like, they made me money, but she valued every person down the entire line.
Yeah. Well, because that $200 million, that is not including what they were already getting paid.
Yes. Which my understanding is more than the industry standards.
Yeah.
Like quite a bit more too.
Sure. Yeah, the bonuses were tied to how well the tour had done.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why maybe I imagine that the amount given in bonuses probably far exceeded how much was paid in salary, even if the salary was higher than industry averages.
Yeah,
like, for example, we did some digging into this, and one of the important associations in dance has some numbers for what they kind of say day of rehearsal should be valued at, or how much a week on tour should be valued at, and it's a significant amount of money. I've forgotten the exact figures.
Wasn't it like 2,400?
Yeah, 2,700, I think, for a week on tour was kind of 2,730 or something. And so if you average that out, you're looking at, $10,000, $11,000 a month, which is pretty good pay.
But the damage you do to your body is almost incalculable, though.
But I just imagine that Taylor paid significantly more than
two
that.
or three times more.
And then, which we don't know how much the bonuses are, right? Like we have the
I swear he said $750,000.
Yeah.
I know some people think it was 100, but whatever it is.
Yeah, 130,000 because it's 13 or whatever. But no, when Cam's reading that letter from Taylor, I mean, I'm not a lip reader, but he said a lot of syllables. That's all I know. And it sounded an awful lot like a 7 at the beginning. And so I think in my mind, it kind of made sense that they were probably paid in the neighborhood of 250,000 would kind of be what I like more than double what you'd expect for a dancer. And then the bonuses after each leg too. It's not even like that wasn't the end of the tour. That was the end of the first leg.
The US one and then the international one, and then yeah.
So I think that I'm kind of a finance guy. That's kind of my background, and so if you figure that they had been given $750,000, like each of the 15 dancers, if you were to just put that in a moderately successful investment account, don't touch it.
That would be just like getting the average investment back,
kind of less than even what the market would do. You'd end up in 20 years with about $3 million, assuming that you just put that $750,000 bonus in there and just left it alone.
Wow. So
yeah, it's growing about 7% a year, which is probably pretty fair after inflation and stuff. So, but yeah, still, you'd have the equivalent of about $3 million in today's dollars.
So single-handedly, potentially, she made it so that they could retire one day.
Yeah, they literally, if they didn't do anything else,
a lot of whatever.
Yeah, no, like your career's going to be 5 to 10 years long, maybe 15 if you are really good or whatever. Not to mention
and you're lucky enough not to be injured.
Yeah, no, seriously, there's a bunch of things that could go wrong. But then I think all these dancers, as you're saying, they all kind of had this opportunity to shine. The capacity that they have now to earn more money through their career because of the platform that she gave them they're really just set up for life.
It's so interesting because, yeah, there's the hard numbers, right? Quantitative data, but then there is that soft power of like, yeah, they now, a lot of them have influencer accounts, huge followership. They're getting choreography, like opportunities. Jan is on Dancing with the Stars now. He's one of the pros on Dancing with the Stars.
And if we're saying his name wrong, I apologize. I don't think I've heard it spoken.
I was taking your lead, so...
Yeah, so if we're saying it wrong, I apologize.
I will look it up and put it in the show notes if we were wrong, and I'm so sorry if we were. I did not watch Dancing with the Stars very close, but I like seeing him come up on my TikToks.
Not just because he looks like what we think Reese might look like.
No, because he looks like what Reese looks like. And I feel like he looked like that in the ladder climbing, but... Okay, also, though, you know what's important, too? So not only are they getting other job opportunities from this, but when Fate of Ophelia came out, like, almost all of those dancers, if not every single one of them, was in that music video.
No, they've got a career with Taylor, if nothing else.
Yeah. Because they're, like, she trusts and loves all these people so much that it's, like, this is an ongoing relationship, too. Yeah,
it's really cool.
So that's worth mentioning as well.
Yeah, and this is just the dancers, which, of course, they kind of are the next most spotlighted after Taylor, but I think we have examples, like, I read a post on Reddit, which, take it with a grain of salt, it's Reddit, that somebody said that their nephew was on the catering staff at some point, and that his bonus was enough to pay off his student loans that he had needed to take out to go to a prestigious culinary school, and then have several thousand left over.
Yeah.
Even after paying off his student loans. So, I mean, I don't know what student loans would be for a famous culinary school, but I'm sure it's not, $2,000.
Yeah. And, it's interesting, too, because so few Americans even have a savings account. So we literally are talking about life-changing money.
I think any of those...
Just single-handedly, you do have savings and, wiping out debt.
People from all the different elements. And not that everybody got $100,000 or more, but still, if you figured that it was $200 million in bonuses across about 1,000 people over the course of the tour, that is, on average, $200,000 per person.
It's a lot of money.
If it was just given out equally, but yeah.
I mean...
Which it wasn't. But.
Can you imagine, I don't know. But they obviously deserved it. The amount of work that went into the Eras Tour, they didn't get real breaks because she kept adding things and changing things. But even then, life-changing money.
No, really, really cool. Just absolute, that's what wealth should be. You're not mad when people are becoming billionaires when that's the attitude that it
when you are working for it, it's fine. Yeah. It's when you're exploiting people to get it, which, to be fair, is the most people path to being billionaires, is they are exploiting slave labor, prison labor, horrible human rights violations kind of things, versus we created this thing that's so beautiful, this artwork, that many people want to be involved in it.
Yeah, very different value proposition. Yeah, to see all those girls, all those people in the audience just crying and just obviously, some of them looking like they're almost having a stroke or something. But
I feel like it was like a therapy. There's something healing about scream singing these lyrics with this many other women and being in a space where you feel so safe to express femininity. I think about how women were bedazzling their hair and, the glitter and the 13s and the bejeweling things. You don't often see women celebrating femininity that unabashedly.
We put 50 little butterfly clips in your hair as part of your look, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. You don't see that really very often.
And it's really powerful.
And so to have a place where not only is that not actively frowned upon, but it's celebrated. Yeah. This is a very serious conversation, but on a not serious note, is my falsies coming off right here? Do I look like a weirdo on camera?
They look good to me.
Okay.
I don't know. As good as eyelashes that are 3 times the size can be.
I learned how to put on falsies 2 months ago, a month ago. I did it for a vampire ball. For some reason I can't do them, but I feel like I can perceive them.
Anything with my eyeballs is just I don't know,
when he sees me put on my eyeliner, he's like,
no, I have to leave the room, I don't know, eyeball stuff. No, let's talk about something else.
Okay, you would say though if I looked weird.
Yes, no, if your eyelashes were falling off, because I have seen that.
I also love how you were as good as lashes 3 times their size can look, so you don't think they're pretty?
No, they're pretty. They look really good.
Okay. Okay, so speaking of serious conversations, we meet Cam's mother, which, by the way, I don't know, if anyone's caught this, but her nails matched perfectly. Her amazing flowers in her hair, she looked so good. Yeah, she was just radiating. Yeah. But in an interesting way, accessibility got brought up, and I actually think it's worth talking about because Cam's mother, I would imagine, she's in the backstage areas. The staff clearly probably knows who she is. It's not her first time going to the Eras Tour. But she mentions how she's nervous because she's I still need the wheelchair to get there, but I want to be able to dance around because I'm physically able to do that part. And so I'm nervous to use it because I don't want people to perceive me. And how sad is that?
Yeah, she's worried that people are going to see her in a wheelchair, but then see her dancing and be like, well, you must not need a wheelchair if you're able to dance. And
add this judgment.
What the fuck? Can you imagine thinking that way about someone? But it's so sad that's the fear.
It was horrible, and yet I know exactly what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I think there really is this idea that, if you are in a wheelchair or you need a walker or whatever, that, you physically can't stand at all. Which is not the same thing. Accessibility devices, like she was saying, it's hard for her to get to where that seating is. Mm-hmm. It's a long walk. If you were to walk from outside the Eras Tour, even the bottom of the stadium. I mean, how long are stadiums?
Yeah. Well, Wembley particularly that they're talking about. I think it's one of the biggest stadiums in the world.
Oh yeah, because it's not like a football-sized one.
Yeah, it's like a different thing.
Well, I guess football, but the other kind of football.
Yeah, somehow that pitch can be a different size than normal. At least according to Ted Lasso, it's like a bigger pitch than.
According to Ted Lasso. We clearly know a lot about sports, but that's a lot of walking. And so if she has a bum knee or anything, that could be very different than standing and dancing. And I felt so heartbroken for her, but also I have to say, like, I have experienced some disabling events recently. I tore my, there's cartilage, like cushion between your knee and the top of your knee, and I tore mine. And for a long time, we didn't know that's what it was. It took a long time to get an MRI and stuff. We had to pay out of pocket. Insurance wouldn't cover it repeatedly. But the doctors had thought it was a meniscus tear, but it's like way worse than that.
It's a full thickness fissuring of the lateral patellar cartilage.
A lot of words. And also, I didn't have a lot of cartilage to begin with. So it's like really bad. It's kind of like having osteoarthritis. But like, I physically cannot do stairs. Like, cannot do stairs. Like, I cannot do them. I could do them if there was, like, a fire, like, with adrenaline and, like...
But then you'd be, like, laid up for 3 days.
Yeah, I would, like, the icing and stuff would be really intense. But so, if I were to just casually do it, then I couldn't be able to do my daily activities around the house or any working out or anything. So, I use a wheelchair at a Comic-Con. And then when we went to Universal Orlando a few years ago, and the amount of people who, when we were trying to get to the place where they have wheelchairs to rent... People were just trampling over me, dirty looks, whatever. And then when I was in the wheelchair, at the time the injury was newer. It was only like 2 or 3 months old. So I couldn't stand really at all for a long time. But I would leave the wheelchair to hobble into the bathroom because I wasn't comfortable maneuvering it in the bathroom. And I could walk for like very short, I mean, 40 steps kind of thing. And I got the dirtiest looks from people. Like, I really think there's this... It's sad that even in this place of, like, so much, like, I know this is, like, kind of bringing it down, but, like, feminine joy, there is still these things like ableism that are sneaking in.
Yeah, well, it's like the lack of water at some of the shows and everything.
Oh my
like
God,
a big deal.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, how hard it was to get it.
And I think Taylor tried as hard as she could to make sure that those issues were addressed, but just still, the way...
Every stadium has its own rules,
institutionally, these things just are not set up in the most... I don't know what the word would even be... but just not very thoughtful, I guess.
Yeah. Almost, like, cruelly.
Yeah.
Because even someone that's completely able-bodied, doesn't have any medical conditions, like, so I have POTS and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so I need a lot of water. And that was our biggest fear when we went to the Eras Tour. Mm-hmm. Luckily, it was before my knee injury. Otherwise, I don't know how we would have done it.
I don't think he would have gotten through.
I don't know how we would have done it physically. So I just think about that, and I don't know, I think we all could take pause and, like, notice ourselves how we think about things like that. And I will say, before the knee thing happened to me, I mean, I don't think I was, like, rude or actively judgy, but, like, even myself, I don't know if I fully thought through how difficult some locations are to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and, like, just as you're going somewhere, think about what it would be like if you couldn't go up a set of stairs.
Yes.
And pay attention to how much harder it would have to be to do what you do if you physically couldn't do stairs or other... Like, if you couldn't stand for a long period of time or whatever, like, imagine what it would be like to just go through your life if you had those. And just, having helped
somewhere
you
where there's not a lot of benches even to rest or anything.
Down. But no, me having been there as you've struggled has shown me a lot. Yeah, I had no clue. I don't really have anything that keeps me from, any particular type of physical activity. And so I just never thought along those lines. I don't think I was ever a dick about it.
Sure. But like, you didn't see the world through that lens.
Yeah, I didn't have that empathy or whatever, and so it's it opens your eyes when you start thinking about that, because it's not something that you think about unless you have to for most people.
Yeah. When we were at C2E2, I remember I was trying to buy us waters.
This is a Comic-Con in
Chicago. I was trying to buy us waters, and I was in my wheelchair. The con floor is cement. It's very tiring on my knee. It was swollen 2 times its size because of WonderCon the month before, where I have to go to these for my business. That's how I make money. But I wheeled up, and the sodas were like in one of those big. Do you know what I mean? And so I couldn't.
Like a vending machine?
No, like those coolers.
Oh, sure.
Do you know what I mean? But without the doors.
Yeah.
So the line of waters, because of how it, like, in the bottom they had like the fruit and stuff, and then it was like different kinds of soda and waters. But like I was like trying to reach up without getting off my chair because my knee was so swollen. And luckily a worker noticed and came over and was like, what else do you need?
Yeah.
And like whatever. But it is crazy how many people almost seem to take joy in people struggling with it.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope Cam's mom was okay and she got everything she needed.
Yeah.
But I also completely understand not wanting me to be perceived because I've certainly felt that way a lot as well. Like because people are so cruel, it changes what you do to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's really sad. Okay, but cute moment for Cam's mom too. Her recording the Eras Tour when we know she'd been multiple
she has her
times.
phone out.
She has her phone
She's singing her little heart out
Dancing.
to that love story.
And she's recording it, and I think it reminded me of Travis doing that.
Yeah, he's how many different recordings does he have of the same songs of the different performances he's been to?
And he knows there's professional photographers, professional video recorders, like all this stuff. Like people are getting better shots, but I think that's so wholesome. Yeah. How we all like need to document our POV in that moment. I know some people think it like takes away from the moment. But I think it's such a beautiful human impulse.
I think it's a very boomer mentality to have when they're just like live in the moment. But it's I mean I don't know because I can live in that moment and then I'll forget it. I mean, eventually, right? Or sometimes quicker than others.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really glad that we have the footage that we have of the Eras Tour.
Same.
Like, even though we do have memories, and I think we did it, like, there's a balance, right? You don't want to just, like, live through your phone, but there's nothing wrong with whipping it out and trying to get some footage.
Beautiful. Yeah. Because ultimately, I do think there is something different. It's like something about, like, the human touch of creation. You taking the video or the photo from your exact perspective. Yeah, of course, there's these amazing images from the Eras Tour that we all know and love, or POVs that people got of Taylor doing different things. But, like, some of my favorite videos have been random girls that took videos of what was happening on stage different nights where, like, Taylor hit a certain thing differently or whatever. And so there's just something so human about the joy of creation that really hits me.
It's really powerful.
And then lastly, we had Florence.
Florence was so much fun. I don't know what I was expecting. So we've listened to a lot of her music, but I don't think I'd ever seen what she looked like.
Oh, okay.
And so this kind of like ethereal goddess, kind of like mist comes up onto the stage as they're kind of doing the blocking and figuring it out.
Even when she's blocking, it's that long white dress.
Yeah.
Like she's like a shift, like she almost feels like she belongs, in a different time period.
Yeah, no, like this, like a Lord of the Rings movie or something. Yeah. I don't know what it.
And it's not just a persona, like it's
that's
who she
her.
is.
And I mean, it's her voice, and it's the way she moves, and it's her not ever wearing any shoes that I could tell. Like,
but it's so perfectly Florence.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel try hard. It doesn't feel weird. Like if I didn't wear shoes, that'd be gross.
Oh my gosh, you just get a pedicure, you'll be fine.
I would hope.
I thought it was really funny. You were like, she's wearing the same dress when she's coming up on stage, and I was like,
okay, she was like crouched down. I couldn't tell what she was wearing.
It had pleats. The one she had earlier did not have pleats.
I don't even know what a pleat is.
No, are you serious right now?
Well, I know what it is in pants. Yeah, okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
I think it's like so cute when you legitimately cannot tell the difference between two completely different silhouettes. You're like, yeah, they're the same dress. There's like, they added, you were like, oh, well, I guess there's the black lace now. That was the only thing you could notice as the difference. Like if you had like a spot the difference thing. That's so cute. It was cute. But I loved, it was really funny though. She, I in a weird way though, I want to talk about her hands, which sounds
Florence,
weird.
like as she sings.
So she had mentioned she doesn't do a lot of choreography in her own shows. She just runs around
the stage, which like vibe.
Yeah, total vibe. And so I don't think she thinks of herself as like a dancer. But the way she like was constantly moving her hands, she had such a beautiful fluidity.
And that music's just like flowing through her. Yeah.
It's very wood nymph for like goddess. Like it's otherworldly how she would move. And like her and Taylor were in theory doing the same things, but they were completely different. They were completely different. And I was like legitimately obsessed with it.
Yeah, you were enthralled.
Like her hand choreography, like she was so enchanting to watch.
It was really powerful.
Like I wouldn't have like known that. Like even though I have seen her before, I didn't know what she looked like.
Yeah.
What a fucking great docuseries.
I think like the credits rolled and we both just kind of sat there quietly and like looked at each other. It was really a powerful thing to see.
So good. So excited. We'll react to the other episodes as they come out.
So yeah, next Friday I think 2 more
Yeah.
drop, and then
I don't know if anyone else is calling it that, but that's what I'm calling it because it's
got
like
a nice ring to it.
Christmas, but like with Taylor. It feels like
With Mother.
yeah. We will also be reacting to the last tour, the last show, the new version of the Eras Tour movie with the Tortured Post department in it. So we will also be reacting to that. That will launch on Monday, so stay tuned if you would like to see that. Thank you for so many of you for liking, commenting, subscribing. I've never had a video like I was like, it actually kind of freaked me out if I'm being honest with you. I was like, wait, that's a lot of people that are seeing me now.
You've had TikToks get millions of views, and
but that's like 30 seconds of me. For, like someone listening to me talk for a long time, I'm like, I might do something weird on camera. That's
definitely do
it's
something
like
weird.
less edited.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more real, but I think that's why they like us.
Yeah. Maybe.
So thanks for being here. Welcome to the party.
And then for those of you that have been listening to the podcast for a long time, don't worry. I know we're focusing on Taylor for these reactions, but we'll be doing an Arab and Hamel deep dive from Throne of Glass next week as well. So we're still going to sprinkle in our bookish stuff. If there's anything specific you'd like to see or anything we missed or hot takes that you have, or you're like, Rachel, that was really annoying of you. You can comment it down below or DM us at FanCorner Creations.
If anybody wants to see any Warhammer 40,000 content, you let us know so that I can convince her to let me write the script once in a while.
No. This is a girl podcast. You are here as an honorary... not member, as an honorary witness to girlhood.
I dig it. I'm
know what I mean?
I'm happy to be here. Me and Wendell are very happy to be here.
He's such a cool buddy. All right, thanks, y'all, and have a very Swiftie day.